Hi everybody, Peter Vogt, the introvert advocate here, and today's video is about taking shortcuts. Maybe the shortcuts you don't necessarily want to take or that you necessarily love to take as an introvert, but I'm talking about the shortcuts that you're sometimes just forced to take. You just about can't not take them, particularly if somebody in your life is nagging you to, let's say, go out after work and you don't want to and you just said no thank you, and they just keep asking you, or those kinds of things. Often you'll get them from the extroverts in your life. And ideally you come up with some good responses that are effective and brief, that don't cost you a lot of energy. That's the ideal. But when I was teaching a class yesterday, I had a class of about 50 people yesterday, where we talked about this this phenomenon that I've noticed that I call the introvert shame phenomenon. And we got into an interesting discussion about what are some ways that you can kind of push back when somebody is basically shaming you for your introversion, nagging at you, implying that there's something wrong with you, maybe even just coming right out and saying something's wrong with you. But it was more in the context of if somebody wants you to come out with them, let's say after work, or come to a party with them, and you just don't want to go. And we had some good strategies. And then one woman raised her hand and she said, I know this doesn't really further the cause too much, but sometimes I just lie. Sometimes I just make up a lie about it. I say I've got to be somewhere or my husband's got to do something. I just make up a lie so that the person will stop nagging at me, will stop badgering me to go out with them, whatever it is that they're doing. And she said she felt kind of bad about it, but that it just was something that she does. And under a second later, I started hearing other people in the class saying, yep, 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 as though they too do the same thing. And I know that I have done the same thing many times myself. I'm going to respond to it again and for you, because I think it might be instructive and helpful to you too, to consider the response that we came up with together yesterday. Do you necessarily want to lie about it in this situation? Is it necessarily the best thing for your overall long term? Probably not. And that's what I said yesterday. But it reminded me so much of being a parent, especially if you are a parent when your kids are young, little kids, and their babies are very, very small. And sometimes there's nights or days that you lose track of when day is night and when night is day, because you've gone for 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 days in a row without getting any good sleep, and you've been cleaning up spit ups and vomit, and I won't even say what else, but you know what I mean. And suddenly you know that you're not supposed to do whatever it is. You want to parent by the book, you want to parent in a good way, but you take the shortcut, and maybe you park the kid in front of the TV for half an hour while you just catch your breath, right? I think we've all been there. And I think we have to just kind of give ourselves some grace as introverts, that sometimes we're in that similar situation with the other people in our life. And we're not going to be able to always come up with the perfect response, the ideal response, the healthy response, if you will. Sometimes we're going to be so exhausted, so tired, so frustrated, so everything, so overcooked, so fried, that we're just going to, in this case, just make something up, make up a story, lie, to get the thing to stop, to get the person to stop. And I just wanted to share that with you and let you and I and everybody who's an introvert know that, you know what, that's okay. That's going to happen sometimes. Give yourself some grace when that happens. We all have our limits, and nobody can just run their lives flawlessly. It can't be done. So maybe I should say when, when you're an introvert and you run into a situation where the only thing that you've got left in your tank is to come up with some kind of story to get whatever thing that's happening to you to stop, it's going to happen sometimes. Don't sweat it. You get back up, you try again the next day to come up with something maybe a little bit more straightforward, a little bit more something that you can hold your head high about, if you will. But it's going to happen sometimes where you take the shortcut, and you know what? You're only human, and that's okay. So I hope that gives you some food for thought today. I did not see that coming up as an answer yesterday, so I just had to share that with you because, like I said, more than one person started nodding vigorously that that was one of their solutions. And they all did say, probably not the best, but let's just face it, sometimes it's what we have to do. So give yourself some grace if, and I should say when, it happens to you. Thanks again for watching this video and all the other ones that I produce. If you'd like to learn more what I do with introverts and introversion and the coaching programs and other things that I offer, as always, come visit me on my website at introvertinsights.com. Hope you're having a great day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.